This is going to be a little project over the next couple of evenings to get this running for a friend. For his, I sold him a little vintage garden tractor and it didn't have a motor, so I'm going to fix up the 16 horsepower for him. And yeah, it's got a few problems. I need to fix the thread on the end of the crank, and it broke a rod. I've welded up the block, you can see that in one of the other videos, but yeah, I'll strip this down and we'll modify a rod because it's got a the later model piston, so we need to machine down the small end of the rod to fit that piston. And I've got most of the worst bolts out. Couple 7/16s here, and we're going to do this and not spend any money at all whatsoever. I'm going to make the gaskets, reuse the head gasket. I've got other motors and bits I'll strip down to get the bits I need. I've got a good set of second-hand pair of main bearings. I don't have a good stator. Most of the bolts on here are loose, so it should come apart pretty well, because I actually robbed the crankshaft out of this for another motor, and I put in the broken crankshaft. Well, it's not broken, it just needs a thread repair. I'm actually going to rob this for another motor. This motor here, swap the covers over, this one's a better one. Good, there's a key in there. Keep that shroud as well. Yeah, these are all loose. Bear with me a minute, I'll just whip off the head. It's got a bent governor rod, but I'll be able to straighten that. I should really whip the valves out and lap them in. But yeah, don't want to spend any money or time on this. But it needs to be good and run forever. That's the beam anyway. Size is the 1/2 inch for the carb. Yeah, the guy who sold me this motor said it's turns over well, but he didn't say it had a rod poking through the side of the block, and I was a bit disappointed about that. I'm gonna take the fuel pump, I'll just take the hose off. I'm gonna grab that, get them with a spanner. Around 16. Here, bear with me a minute, just whip this off. See that end there snapped off. We can grind that flat and drill and tap it. That's actually a good crank though. And that's the matching rod on for it out of that motor, which I robbed the crank from this from. This piston's actually good. I think I've even got a brand new set of rings somewhere. I'll whack them in as well. I think that's about it. That's nearly totally stripped. I'll see, whip the bottom off and I'll see what the cams, we need to whip that out. See, the mains in this are actually good. This out. Cam's got a bit of air float. Yeah, this is how you get the cam out. Once you got that other side cover off, there's a pin here. Drive it out. And then so that you can lift the camera up. Probably supposed to take the valves out first. Anyway, I don't really need to take that right out, so just going to make a shim in it, but I was going to replace that governor gear because this one's real loose on the shaft. Oh, come on. I can't cut corners with this. Yeah, lift the lifters out. Yeah, that helps. What was I thinking? And to get the governor shaft out, there's a brass bolt nut thing here. Yeah, this is real bent, this shaft. Oh yeah, that's right, you're going to unscrew that screw which holds the governor gear. Yeah, that holds the governor gear in there. Yeah, that one's real wallowed out, but I've got a slightly better one here. Which isn't so bad. That can go in the shit pile down there. I'm going to get this out to straighten that back in, set it loose there. Yeah, and I'll hammer that shaft straight. Yeah, I thought I'd better give the thing a valve grind. I just checked them in there. It's weeping a bit when you put in the petrol into the port. So, I need this shit to come out. Oh, there we go. A little bit of that. And the sucker is probably a bit old, but yep. Yeah, this is fixing the broken the stud where for bolting the flywheel on snapped off. So we're going to bore and tap it to take a bolt. It's small lathe, but just fits. Back that up again, put some oil on it. I think this is cast steel crankshaft, because the Briggs and Stratton one's up cast iron. This lathe is like 80 years old. It'll reach the bottom now. Yeah, we ran into some problems with the governor shaft on the other one being bent and missing the arm. So this engine, I robbed this and the shaft and the arm off here. So now I've got to strip this one down and then we'll get all the bits we need. This is the old style connecting rod, and they're a lot wider in the small end, but this is the new style piston. So I've ground the sides of the rod off, so now it'll fit in here. Before it was about probably 8 mils wider, but yeah, hopefully that'll work and not snap. No, it shouldn't snap because the newer rods are the same as this. There, it's mostly back together now, and I took the bad tinware off my good motor there. This motor here has, that one's fully rebuilt, but the tinware this is all rusted and welded up like heaps down the bottom. But yeah, so the 16 horsepower's nearly all back together. I just got to do the carb. But yeah, if you look at my other videos, this is the motor with the block, which is all blown out in the front. So yeah, it's got the old crank shaft out of there and the old rod, and that's all back in there now. So in theory, this should run, and I'll try and fire it up very soon.